it's Anya here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks, and today I am showing you all about the project that we are making next month in January 2020. So we are going to do a cowl and it's a project bag. As you can see, this is my design. I am really liking the finished look of my bag. Now, not only am I liking the look, listen. Do you hear that? Right. So I have put feet on it. I had these, so I used them. And oh, isn't that sound just so satisfying? There you go. Professional. Anyway, so I have made this bag, this project bag in cotton cord. I'm using a special stitch throughout this pattern. This project, it makes for a nice dense fabric, and it allows you, as you can see, to put little designs in it, and I am really liking the look of this. So I used the bobbiny cotton cord, more about that in a moment, and I have also put a lining in this bag just to make it look nice. And as you can see, I have put quite a number of balls in here, so not only that, I've got my pencil case with my crochet hooks. I've got some scissors in here. There's space for tissues or whatever you need for your phone, you know, things like that. So I have also put handles on this. I am using webbing for the handles because I don't think crocheting is an efficient way of making these handles, and I have embellished them because I had these embellishments, you know, I just wanted to look nice. You don't have to do that. You can just do the wrapping of the yarn there if you wanted to. So I hope you are enjoying what you see, and I hope you will be inclined to make this as well. One thing though, working with this cotton cord is not at all easy. It is much thicker than any DK. This is DK, as you can see, you know, there's a big difference. So it is a little bit of a character test, would I say, but I think it is just worth it. The bag that I've made here now is just gorgeous. So I hope you will take part in the cowl, and let's just see what else you need for it. So we will be using the bobbiny cotton cord, and I am using this cord because it has a gorgeous colorways and it is really nice quality. So this one is the cotton cord 3mm, and it's 100% recycled cotton, so that's a good thing as well. And this one is called Steel. Then I decided to team it up with two colors, but I wanted them to be the same color, so a dark one and a light one. So this one is the same junior cord 3mm, and as you can see, this one is the peacock color. So I thought it was such a nice deep, you know, color. It was a lovely color, and it turned out a really nice color to work with. And then to team up with that, I went for the teal color. This is the proper teal color, and then the peacock is the sort of the darker version of it. And they are all for a 6 to 8mm hook. And look at the quality of it, and look how the cord is woven. So it is not macrame cord, it is cotton cord, and this cord does not fray. It's a proper sort of, you know, woven cotton cord. So the amounts that you need is 2 steel ones, so 2 of your main color, and then 1 each of your accent color, or you know, sort of 2 other colors. But I always like to use colors that go together, and then you have a light and a darker version of it. So 4 cotton cord reels or skeins in all. So these are the ones that you are going to have to try and get hold of, either from Bobbiny on their website, or you could of course find your own. So this is the Bobbiny website, and on there you will see that they have like a color chart thing, but then on the left here it says Bobini t-shirt yarn, and then it says cotton cord, and it's the cotton cord that you have to click on, and then you use the junior 3mm. Do not go for the 5 or the 9, because that will be even thicker and more difficult to work with. So 3mm is fine. And here of course they have a whole selection of different types, so do make sure that you can get the amounts that you need from each one, that or from the color that you choose. So you can feel free to choose whichever colors you want. Obviously I am going to use the names teal, steel and peacock in my patterns, but of course you can just replace those with whichever color that you decide to replace them with, and then just write on their band my colors, and then you're using them anyway. So these are my colors that I found, and yeah, I thought they went well together, and I really liked the colors and I really liked the look of them. And as it turned out, my finished project is what I envisaged, and yeah, I really like the colors. Look at how deep this teal is. It's a really lovely color. So you get about 100 meters, and it's, like I said, 100% recycled cotton. So apart from your cord, obviously you need some other things as well. These are the things you're going to need to make the basic project. Okay, so obviously a hook. I'm using a 6.5. Then we have a smaller hook as well, which you will need to just make some ends disappear. So that's what I use for that, because obviously you won't be able to use a needle for that. Some scissors. I am also using a tape measure just to make sure that the base and everything, you know, that you can keep on top of measuring. And here I have 2 meters of this webbing. Now this is the kind of webbing that you get when you buy a bag sometimes. You know, the handles are sometimes made out of this webbing, and I don't believe anymore in crocheting my own handles, because A, it's boring, it takes a long time, and B, they stretch. Okay, I don't know whether they will stretch with this cord, but I am not taking any chances. I want to use this cord. So this I bought from a local fabric shop, haberdashery. It's not expensive at all. This is grey, which to be honest was the closest match to my color, and I'm fine with that. Okay, so 2 meters of webbing for your handles. So these are the things you will need for a basic finish of your bag. Now I am planning on lining my bag, and I have chosen some fabric which I think goes with the color that I have used, or that I have chosen to use. And I am going to use my sewing machine to make an inner lining for my bag with pockets. So I will show you that in the last week how I do that. Okay, and to attach the inner lining to the actual bag, to the inside of the bag, I am going to be using this here, which is like a temporary adhesive to help me get it all in there. And then I will yes, I think I'm going to be using my hot glue gun. I don't know how else to put it in there, because of the cord. It's thick, you can't sew it with a sewing machine, and I don't think you can even do it by hand. Do try to do it by hand, but I believe in my hot glue gun. I've done it before, I'm going to do it again. And of course here I've got my fabric scissors, but that's of course if you are able to do that, if you can, you know, sew. Now if you can't sew, and if I was in your position and I didn't have a sewing machine and I did want to line it, I would somehow do it with my hot glue gun. I have done this before. I have put a lining in a crochet bag before with a hot glue gun, and it worked, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so if you want to line it, see what you can do, see you know, if you can get it sewn, or if you can sew it yourself if you have a sewing machine. So see how far that can bring you. Now, the following things that I have under my hands here are optional extras, okay? I do some sewing as well as crocheting and all the other things that I do, and sometimes I go to these craft fairs and I buy little trinkets and I buy all kinds of things, and then as and when I, find some use for them, I use them. So I bought these feet for a bag. So you put them in, and then when you put your bag down, you get that, you know, nice noise. So that's what I'm going to put into my bag this time. I have forgotten to put them in several bags that I've made, so I'm thinking, yeah, I am now going to put these in. So these go in before you put the lining in. So you stick them in from the underside. I will show you how to do that anyway. So yeah, so this is something that I'm going to be using, as I already had it. If you see it in your local haberdashery, you know, do go ahead and get some, but if not, don't worry. Then, as I said, I have all these little trinkets that I buy. They are really pretty little things, and I sew them onto things that sometimes even on a crochet thing. If I've made it for someone, I might you know, put this made with love or something. I have a whole bag here of made with love hearts that I put on things when I give them away. So yeah, it's something I do. It's something I like doing. I love these little trinkets. Look, there's a little lock and a key. Look at that, how cute. So these are the things that I keep an eye out for when I go to these craft fairs, and I bought several of these. I don't know whether you can see them in the packet last time. And so yeah, I'm sort of really happy that I've got those, because I now can use them for my bag. And obviously, if you see something like that, keep an eye out, and then you can use something like this as well. So the reason where I'm using it is because the way I am going to attach my handle to the actual bag, there's going to be, you know, you sort of go and put it around that little loop that you've got, that I will show you how to do. Obviously, this is all week 4 and week 5 that we're talking about, but you need to know these things, because obviously you want to be prepared and have a chance to buy these things if you want to. And so we'll have some sewing here, and it's never pretty. So what I do is I put something like this on top, you know, like a little floret or a little button made of my leftovers, and I've attached a trinket to that. Okay, so that way I can hide the ugly sewing. Well, I'll do it prettily, but I can hide the sewing and it will make it pretty. So I have some squirrels here. A squirrel, because of course I feed the squirrels, and I thought that was a nice little trinket. Then I have some scissors, because of course you need scissors in your project bag. Not that they will work, but there you go. I have the cat, Layla. She's in there as well. And then this one here, a key, because I just love the little look of the key. Okay, so yeah, so those are the little things. Do not make these to start with. Okay, I've finished my project bag, obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell you my amounts. So this is the leftovers I have, and so I've turned them into little buttons almost, to hide the start of, or hide the attachments of the handles. And I will see what I can do with this, but I'm sure I'll do something with it. Okay, so I'm using every last scrap of my cotton cord that I have bought to make this project. And yeah, I hope that with all the things that I'm using, I hope I haven't put you off, but yeah, these are some things that I have that I do. So obviously I want to use them, because that's what I buy them for. If an opportunity arises where I can use it, then that's what I'm going to do. Like I said in the beginning, I've split this up into what you really need, what you might need, and the optional extras. So hopefully this will give you an idea of all the things that you need, and also where you want to, you know, stop basically. But whichever version you do, however far you go in your decorating, you know, you might want to put some tassels on, even if you have leftovers, whatever. Do post it on Facebook, on my Facebook group, because I would love to see your progress and of course the finished project. But we are now talking about something that's far ahead in the distance. We still have to start this project, so I wish you good luck for finding all the things that you need. Do go and have a look at the Bobbini website to see what it is that you are ordering for using in this project. So for this project I am using a 6.5. I'm using a metal hook. Now, you know that I always have to go down half a size, so I can easily imagine that you might be using a 7 or a 7.5. The yarn is prescribed as a 6 to an 8 millimeters, so that still fits within that range. Now, before we get started, and just for information and to help you, I am just going to have a look at the skeins themselves. So I'm calling these skeins. They are held together with this wrapper. Do not undo the wrapper as long as you possibly can, okay? Do not undo it at all. I made the mistake, the first one I did, I just undid it and it became a hot tangled mess. So keep the wrapper on. And you should find, and this is the secret to all this, you should find one end without a knot. And there's one here as well. I think, yeah, here, look, one end without a knot. There's Layla. And another end with a knot. And it's the end with the knot that you're going to get started with. Okay, so if you then pull this gently, always gently, it will come out like so, all the way from sort of inside, and then it will work its way out. It works really well until you get sort of towards the end. And what I do then, because it is possible to then undo the wrapper and then start rolling from this end into a ball, like I did here, you then are able to roll it into a ball, but not before that, because it will get entangled. Okay, so start with the one with the knot, always pulling carefully, not jerking, not pulling, gently pulling, and it should work really well. Okay, you know, I want to be honest with you, okay? Working with this cotton cord, you have a beautiful project at the end, but it is not easy. Okay, my fingers are hurting. The movements that you do with your crochet hook are bigger and more strenuous than when you're using DK yarn. So although it is a lovely project and it is a lovely look, the cotton, the quality of the cotton is fabulous. It's really nice, but it is not easy to work with. So I just want to put some sort of warning or a disclaimer out there. I am not going to make it look as if it's easy, like many people do on the YouTube tutorials, because it gives you a false sense of how they do it, and then you can't do it. I don't want to do that. I want to be honest, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a really nice project. It looks fabulous, and I'm going to be using that bag all the time, and it's going to be worth it. But if you're not sure about using this cord, I have to say my fingers hurt, okay? I can feel it in my wrists and also further up in my shoulder, because I've been doing a bigger movement. So do not spend the money on this lovely yarn if you think you're not going to be able to cope with that. Okay, if you're a seasoned crocheter and there's nothing wrong with your fingers, arms, wrists, you know, go ahead and do it. Take breaks, take regular breaks. You know, put it away for a couple of hours, go back to it, do a row, do this. Do not do too much in one go, but do not, you know, do not spend the money if you think you are not going to be able to do this, okay? You can use 2 strands of DK. I'm not sure if it's going to look the same or if it's going to have the same sturdiness, but if that's going to be your solution, if you really want to make this pattern, if you really want to make this bag, do try it in 2 strands of DK or even in a chunky. But you will have to work out how many stitches you need to do. In the pattern I tell you the stitch repeat or the amount of stitches that you need for certain repeats, so do keep that in mind. Also the diameter, depending, I mean, it doesn't really matter how big your bag is, obviously. You know, the bigger, the more balls you will be able to get in it, but you still do need a certain, measurement to be able to use the bag efficiently. So make sure you then meet all those measurements, all those stitch requirements for the project to work. So I like making these kinds of projects, but I don't do them all the time because they are hard. Okay, this will be my fill now for the year, but yeah, I just wanted to say this. I like to tell you everything about the project. I don't want to give you this sort of sense, oh, she can do it and I can't. Why not? This is hard for me too. Okay, I can do it. I can put up with the pain for my fingers, and yeah, it's worth it, I think. Now, I am also using a metal hook, and it's a higher hook. I always use these, and this can withstand the pressure, the tension, the pulling, the thing, what I am doing. It's not going to bend, it's not going to break. So do not use a wooden hook for this if you can possibly avoid it. No plastic even, because you will break it. Don't use your best ergonomic hooks either, because I would not want for them to get damaged or for the hook to come out of the handle or anything like that. You know your hooks, you know the quality of them. Make sure you use a hook that can withstand the rough crocheting, basically. So I hope this helps, and I hope that I haven't put you off, but it might be worth just now to get hold of maybe something similar, of maybe a good chunky, or putting 2 chunkies together, or 2 or 3 double crochets, double knitting together, DK, and see how you go using that. Okay, so this is the bag that we are making. I hope I have inspired you to make it along with me. Starting date is the 24th of January 2020, so get your things together and enjoy crocheting with me. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! If you've enjoyed this video, please do consider sharing it with others. Thank you so very much for watching, and I also hope to see you on our Facebook group. Join me there!